Hello, welcome. My name is Sarah Nicole Nadler, and today we're going to talk about how to build a lifestyle business. A lot of people talk about how to build a lifestyle business, and the truth of the matter is it's actually very simple. It's just the work has to be done in order for it to happen. And I think that's really where a lot of people get hung up. So in this workshop, if you stay with me till the end of today's webinar, we're going to actually cover the three biggest misconceptions, I think, around what a lifestyle business is and how you actually move from where you are now, which might be, solopreneur, doing everything yourself, or someone who's built a business that's really just a glorified job for yourself, where you take all the risk and also do most of the work. And we're going to move from that stage of life into an actual lifestyle business. So before we really get started, I want to just cover some housekeeping here. You're going to get the most out of this video if you come to a quiet place, turn your phone off. Here, I'll silence mine right now. There you go. And grab a notepad and a pen, because you're really going to want to take notes on what we cover rather than having to watch this video over and over again and hear my whole spiel. All right? Good. Now, just to give you a little bit of a background, my name is Sarah Nadler. As I said, I'm an author, I'm a business consultant, I'm a certified life coach, and I started my first business when I was 14 years old. Now, I hate when people go on this long-winded explanation of why they're this amazing person. So I'm going to just skip right to the chase and say that I built that business at first because I wanted to have money for gas and for, buying books, because I was a total bookworm. But in the end, it actually ended up saving my life, because my sister was diagnosed with cancer when I was 18 years old, and I ended up having to move out, support myself and my boyfriend, and do all kinds of crazy things, including one day my mom shows up on my door, hands me my baby sister, and says, I can't take care of her anymore, and flies out of the country the next day to help my middle sister find cancer treatment that would work. So there I was, 18, almost 19 years old. My first job was my own business. I owned a cleaning business, right? Trying to support myself, my boyfriend, and to have my own apartment for the first time. I had just barely graduated high school, and now I had a baby. I was supposed to be surrogate mom too as well. So I had to learn very fast how to build a lifestyle business, because otherwise I would not have slept or ever eaten, right? It was very important for me. So I kind of learned it all trial and error, and it worked out great. And I ended up selling that business and traveling the world for a little while on my own. But I want to take some of those first lessons I learned and really show you how necessity level alone taught me how to do this. But over the years since then, this is like 12 years ago, I have actually learned the philosophy and the theory behind business and why that I was able to be so successful. And I want to share that with you today. Okay, so here we go. A couple of just basic misconceptions, I think, around a lifestyle business. First of all, what is a lifestyle business? A lifestyle business is one where you actually get to go home at the end of the day, right? It's one that supports the lifestyle that you want to have. It's not just a glorified job where you work 40, 50, 60, even 80 hours a week trying to keep your business afloat. That's not a lifestyle business. A lifestyle business is also not being a solopreneur, right? Where you are the specialist and the owner and manage the finances and do the bookkeeping and do everything yourself. That's not a lifestyle business. So over the years, since 2 years ago when I started actually doing business consulting, I have spoken to many, many business owners of all industries, right? Healthcare, coaching, consulting, lawn mowing, like everything out there, hairdressers. And I found some common denominators amongst all of these. So in this workshop, we're going to actually talk about those common denominators and what really gets in your road when you start trying to build your business and scale it up to the point where you can step away and have a life again. Okay. I'm also going to go over, of course, some of the solutions to those problems that I've seen and offer you my help at the end. All right. Good. So let's start with the absolute basics. This workshop is for you if you are an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who organizes and manages a business, right? Especially one who's willing to take considerable initiative and risk. What is initiative? It's taking responsibility. It's saying, I'm not going to sit here and wait for someone to tell me how to do this. I'm going to strike out and actually make it go right. And I feel like make it go right is a motto that we can all assume, right? And also business involves risk, and true entrepreneurs are willing to embrace that risk and make it their own. And again, responsibility, be responsible for the consequences either way, whether you're highly successful and you take responsibility for the team that you grow and building a good company culture, or whether you run into failures and barriers and opposition and take responsibility for those too and overcome them. So that's the true nature of an entrepreneur. And I like to say that the best entrepreneurs are really go-getters. They're people who don't wait around for opportunity to come knocking. They knock on doors and find opportunity. Okay. Good. So if that sounds like you're in the right place. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, you essentially have 3 roles or hats that you have to wear in your business. The first one is the owner hat. What is the owner hat? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's essentially the person who sets the goals. It's the one who sets the pace for the business, right? Then you have the specialist hat. This is the delivery of whatever your deliverable is, right? If you're a baker, it's the person who actually bakes. In a lot of cases, the founder of the business is also the specialist, especially in service-based businesses, which is the industries that I mostly work with, right? So whether you're a doctor or you're a hairdresser or a beautician or whatever it is that you do, you're a lawnmower, you're a website builder, all of those, in most cases, the person who owns the business also tends to be a specialist in that area, right? So yeah, those are 2 of the hats you have to wear. You also have this third hat, this third role that you play, and that is the manager of the business. And as you will soon see, the manager of the business and the owner of the business are actually 2 separate things, and they get mushed together. And when those 2 get mushed together, that's where you stop having a lifestyle business, okay? So I'm going to talk more about that in this webinar. All right, so let's talk about this owner. First of all, what is an owner actually supposed to do, and how is that different than a manager? First of all, the owner is the one who sets the goals for the business, okay? If this is the person who's out there going, what mountain do I want to climb next? Think Elon Musk or the owner of Patagonia, right? Like the person who sets the vision and the mission and sets the company culture and actually determines what direction we're going to go, okay? The roles, the jobs, the duties that an owner has are making the business profitable. That falls, in the end of the day, on the owner. That's why you're liable for things that happen in the business, right? Number 2, developing an ideal team so that all of your employees function together and they work well, right? And it's a machine that actually produces at the other end the transformation or the product that you promise your customers. Number 3, you have the duty and responsibility to yourself to reduce the amount of time that you spend in your business so you can actually have a lifestyle. That is one of your duties as the owner, not only for yourself, but also for your team, right? Not burning them out. You definitely have that responsibility as the owner. And lastly, by actually taking on truly the owner role, you can reduce the amount of stress that you are experiencing when you understand what it takes to truly be a business owner. All right. Again, remember when I first started out 12 years ago, I did not know these things, not even in the slightest. I had to learn, and a lot of it was trial and error, and a lot of it was honestly completely done the wrong way for years before I figured it out. So don't feel bad if this does not sound like you. We're going to get there together. All right, so the second role that you play, right, which often gets mushed with the owner role, but we need to extract them into 2 completely different roles. That is the manager. So as the owner is out there dreaming the next dream and coming up with the new vision for the business, The manager is running around behind organizing the business and establishing it so that those dreams can happen. So the primary purpose of a business manager or a CEO is to make the owner's goals a reality, right? Just think like anybody can dream a dream. Think about it. This is what I always think of is, did you know that thousands, hundreds of thousands of people every year determine that they're going to write a book? It's the difference between the person who thinks about writing a book and the person who actually sits down and writes that book, figures out, right? Does the research and actually figures out how to do it. That person is the manager, right? So this is the person who does the daily actions to make that goal a reality. And if you don't have someone in your business who can do those things for you, then you will not have a lifestyle business, right? You will always be burdened down by the day-to-day actions, because no matter how big or small your business is, there's a lot of activities that go on, right? You can actually divide a business up into 7 different categories of things that need to happen in the business every single day. All right. So this is a very important role, and it's luckily one that the owner of the business does not have to wear. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. All right. So I remember I promised you we had some common denominators, some common misconceptions about lifestyle businesses. This is the first one. Management as a subject is actually comprised of 30 to 35 skills, depending on who you ask. And most entrepreneurs lack the majority of those skills. Let me say that again. The majority of the skills of managing a business, most entrepreneurs lack most of them. Okay? The majority of them. That means that there is enormous growth potential in personnel development in your business, training yourself, training your executives, training your team in these 30 to 35 skill sets gives your business enormous potential. Okay. What are they? Well, I'll give you a great example of some of the skill sets you need to have. Sales, right? The ability to close 80% of the people in front of you. Just do the math, right? The last 10 people you talked to or tried to prospect or tried to convince to even set an appointment with you about your business, how many of those 10 people did you actually convince to come in and pay you money, right? Sales is a skill. The other skill that a manager needs is the ability to assess the emotional state of another team member, a team player, right, in your business, an employee, and respond with the appropriate emotion to their emotional state. That is one of the biggest ones I see lacking from amateur or newbie entrepreneurs, right? These skill sets are part of what makes a team a team. They are part of what makes a business a company, a step away business, and not just a glorified job, right? So all of those skills, those 30 to 35 skill sets that you need as an entrepreneur to really succeed and actually have a lifestyle business, they're completely learnable. They're completely teachable, right? I can teach them to you. There are so many courses out there that can teach you these skills. But if you don't even know what they are or what you need to know, it's really hard to actually get there, right? And just think about it. Nobody else is talking about this. What other webinar have you attended in the last year that told you about those 35 skill sets, right? It's just the knowledge isn't out there. And it's a hidden secret that I want to expose and actually let people in on the secret so you can win and actually build that lifestyle business, okay? So just to give you a great example of how I've done this with someone, Molly Mitchell came to me. She's a co-owner of her husband's practice. She's a mom of 4. And when they first came to me, this couple was not making everything balance, right? Business was kind of swamping family life. It was swamping romance. It was swamping everything. And with just a few training sessions, we were able to move her past that into a balanced lifestyle where she actually has full say as a co-owner in what goes on with the business, while at the same time allowing her husband to have his say and really hold strongly his own drive and purpose and reason for starting the business in the first place, while allowing her to have control as well. So there's that balance, right? I know for me and Ben, my husband, finding that balance as a couple when you're co-owners of a business can be really rough. So we were able to move past that and actually get them to a point where they're making enough income, they're supporting their family, they also are spending more time together, right? And actually building their marriage and building their life together. So this is a very, very important step when you actually decide that you want to move past that I spend my whole life on my business stage, right? That's first stage of business where you're just swamped and spending 80 to 100 hours every week doing nothing but trying to figure out how to make this go right. It's time to move past that, right? So let's do it. Let's continue on here. The second common denominator, the second biggest misconception around business, and here's the ugly truth, right? There isn't enough time for any specialist, any person who is also the main delivery person in the business. So if you are the hairdresser, or if you are the makeup artist, or if you are the lawnmower yourself, right? The landscape artist, or whatever it is, if you're also the delivery person in your business, there isn't enough time in the day to do a good job at that and also manage and run the business. Somewhere in between, things are going to get dropped. And when things get dropped, you get bad reviews, you get a bad reputation, and things start to fall apart for the business. So what do we do about this, right? Well, here's the truth. The manager hat is usually the one that's neglected because you care about your customers, you care about your clients, and you care about your quality of delivery. So here's what ends up falling through the cracks. Job descriptions for your teammates, right? Your employees, they get neglected. Staff aren't corrected the way that they should be. So you lose the good ones or end up retaining staff who are not a good culture fit, right? Job reviews don't get done, etc. So all of that team building activity that would take stuff off your plate ends up not being done. The establishment and organization of the business ends up not being done because you're so busy with delivery. Has that happened to you? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's painful, right? So again, here's some of the solutions, because the manager role is the one that makes it possible to have a lifestyle business. Okay. That's the only way you will ever grow, is by putting people in place who are strong CEOs and strong middle managers who can be self-starters and actually run the business for you so you can do delivery, or even hire delivery people so you can wear the other hats, right? And here's the truth. The solutions that most people put in place don't work. So here's the first one. The owner neglects the hat so you can actually have a life, right? And then the business never achieves its goals. All of those things that you wanted to accomplish, the reasons why you even started your business in the first place, go out the window, right? That's probably happening to some of you right now, where you go, wow, this is not what I thought owning a business would be like. The stress level's super high. The business is not producing as much as you thought it was because the people are not in place and the systems are not in place to make it happen, because you're neglecting that manager hat. So that one's just not workable, right? Solution number 2 that I see people try all the time is, okay, well, I'll just do everything myself, you know? And that probably works for a time because you're competent and you're capable, and that's why you started your own business. You are not an employee mindset, right? But the truth is, it's, as I said, there's not enough hours in a day or a week or a year for you to wear all 3 hats, or even owner. And, you know, even 2 of those hats is sometimes too much for one person. So you end up wearing as many of those hats as you can until you burn out. And that's just the ugly truth, okay? Not where we want to go with this. Solution number 3, fill the position of CEO, right, of manager of the business with someone who you can train and how to do things the way you would have done them or better, right? It's okay to hire people who are better at things than you are, and then manage that manager. And here's the trick. If you know how to manage well, which I can absolutely teach you, managing the manager should only take about 1 hour per week. So that leaves you free to do delivery. It leaves you free to work with clients. And if you replace yourself as the lead delivery person, it also leaves you free to have a completely lifestyle business where you are in phase 2, right? Not phase 1 where you are flat out doing everything yourself, but now fully in phase 2 where you are having someone else manage the business, someone else deliver the deliverable, and you own the business. Isn't that just a lifestyle right there? Right there. Can you see the power of this? Just imagine like waking up when you want to, managing your team from afar, being a digital nomad, traveling the world, whatever it is that you want to accomplish. It is absolutely possible. I'm delivering this workshop right now from my home here in Oregon, but just last week I was in Florida hanging out on the beach, right? It is completely possible to build a business to the point where you can step away as you need to or want to, so long as you have the systems in place to be responsible for and manage the manager of your business. Okay. That is really, if you think about it, the only way that you'll ever build a lifestyle business. So, as I said before, I do teach people how to do this. It's absolutely possible, but let's take one more deep dive into how that happens. Let's take the last misconception people have about business, okay? And this will really start to show you the power of what I'm showing you, the power of stepping away and putting the tools in place so you can, right? Putting the tools in place so you can step away. This is the other really ugly thing I see happening in businesses way too often, and that is management by perception. Now, what do I mean by management by perception? I mean, wishing it would happen, hoping you'll hit those numbers, dreaming about the day when you make, 6, 7 figures or 8 figures, instead of tracking the numbers and learning statistical management so you can actually visualize and see how close you're getting to your goal and push it over the edge. Okay. So that's management by perception is not a good thing. Management by perception is when we lick our fingers, stick it in the wind and hope that we can make things go right? It's guesstimating what your make break point is financially, going, I think I have enough money to pay the bills, rather than really truly knowing at a glance exactly how much you can afford to spend or what's going to be a good business decision, right? It's also managing your growth by how busy you feel, how frustrated you are, how much is on your plate, and how burnt out you feel, rather than monitoring your growth by actual statistics and numbers. All right. So what's the solution? The solution is to have a dashboard. So a dashboard is essentially when you have graphs and actual numbers that at a glance, instantaneously, you can see how well your business is doing, what direction it's going, is it getting better, is it getting worse, and find the reasons inside. The little kernels of information tell you what went wrong when it's going the wrong direction and what went right when it's going the right direction, so you can push the right thing. Doesn't that just sound amazing? One place, one dashboard can tell you all of that. It can tell you, hey, here's what area of the business needs work this month, right? Here's what our successful actions are. It will give you a wealth of information to make good business decisions. Now, I've had people try in the past to put this together on their own, and here's how they sometimes get tripped up. First of all, yeah, Sarah, that's great. We keep key performance indicators, KPIs, or statistics or numbers, but how do I know which ones I'm supposed to monitor? Good question. Number 2, how do I develop a statistic to actually monitor that, right? So I know I should be monitoring this area of my business, but how do I staticize that? How do I put the numbers into something that I can visually see, right? Another question I get asked all the time, I don't know what range the statistic needs to be at, right? They're like, okay, I have the numbers of the month. Is that good? Is that bad? How do I compare it, right? What do I compare it myself to? And then lastly, okay, I'm tracking everything. I've got a dashboard. What do I do with this? What information is this telling me? I don't know how to read the information. All of those things are the problems you will run into when you first start trying to put a dashboard in place. But I tell you what, if you can move past those and really truly learn statistical management for your business, it will absolutely be a game changer for you, okay? So here's a great example of a dashboard. This is for a healthcare practice. So right away, we can see that the collections, the income coming into the business, right, is going down. We can also see that the production, meaning the value of the services they delivered, was also going down. Why? This is our first question, right? It's like, wow, the numbers went down. Why did they go down? How can I tell? Well, if you learn statistical management, you'll be able to read these graphs because right away, just looking at this, I can already tell you exactly what's going wrong. Crazy, right? But that's what business consulting training does for a person. And that's why I'm an advisor. That's why I help people like you build their businesses, because just looking at graphs, I can tell you where the practice or where the business is going wrong. All right. So a great example of this is Dr. Tammy Stevenson. She came to us and learned statistics, learned how to actually monitor her business, her practice, right? Learned how to look at those graphs and read what they mean, right? Read what area of the practice you need to focus on this month to turn those numbers around. And as you can see, it really made things black and white for her so she can actually make smart business decisions. It's super important. All right. Let's recap. There's 3 main problems you have: missing skill sets, no time to really wear that manager hat for your business, and then guesstimating, making decisions based off of which way the wind blows or what the tarot cards are telling you, or any of these things that probably would be good if you actually had the information to make it possible to make that decision. Okay. So decisions based on guesswork or your perceptions rather than on proven data are never going to be as sure and certain as actually using the cold hard facts, right? So how do we fix this? Well, the first step is to analyze you and your business. By which I mean, take those 30 to 35 skill sets I told you about and figure out which are the vital skill sets that you are missing and which of the 12 systems that need to be in place for a business to run are missing from your business. That's step 1. Step 2, you need to train a CEO. You need to actually put people in place in your business who can take over some of those executive duties, right? If you're a solopreneur, this might actually be the very first time you hire somebody. And I can guarantee you it's a little bit harder than it looks. So feel free to reach out for some help if you need it. But this is really a vital part of building a lifestyle business, whether it's hiring a virtual assistant, a social media manager, or in a brick and mortar store, it might be a receptionist or something like that, even a bookkeeper. But figuring out who that first hire should be is the first step. And then once you actually have a team in place, training up that CEO so that they're managing your team so you can step away, right? And then step 3, create your dashboard. Put the tool in place so that your CEO can manage the business at a glance and you can manage your CEO. That way you can do it from anywhere, literally anywhere on Earth. You can even go to Mars, all right? Good. So I know I've talked a lot about things that you may need to learn or want to know about your business, and that's why I wanted to offer you a free marketing analysis. A free business analysis. What we're going to do is we're going to actually assess all the different areas of your business and come up with specific solutions tailored to your business. Okay, this is not a one-size-fits-all business analysis. I'm actually going to look at all the information. So let me show you how that works and what you can get when you sign up with me. Remember, this is absolutely free. The first thing I'm going to do is help you gather up all the information you need to know to really start making good business decisions about your company, right? Next, we're going to go through those and align your business with your own personal goals and your professional ambitions. Make sure we're going the same direction and there's alignment. That is very, very key for achieving work-life balance. Then we're going to go over the 25 typical stress areas for a business owner and figure out which ones you have in your life and how you can avoid them. And next, we're going to assess those management skills I told you about against a list of 35 skill sets that every entrepreneur needs to have to really grow and scale a business. We're going to figure out which ones you have and which ones you don't, and which ones are most important for you to learn next. Okay, because I don't want you to get overwhelmed and have 31 different skill sets to go learn. That's not how it works. We're going to find the next ones that you need now. Okay. And then we're not done. We're going to determine which areas of your business need the biggest improvement right now. And last, but certainly not least, I will lay out a specific plan for improvement of your business with tailored solutions to you and offer you the opportunity to work with me to implement those solutions in your business. All right, so that's how it works. I really appreciate you coming today. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, jump on over to my website, sarahnicolenadler.com, and ask away. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.